Do you ever look in the mirror and wonder, where did the years go? Do you sometimes feel that with age you have lost not only your youth, but also your ability to love yourself? If so, you are not alone. Many people, when they reach the later stages of life, find themselves weighed down by regret, by comparison, and by a quiet sense of fading worth. But here is the truth, whispered gently through the wisdom of the Buddha. Old age is not the end of love. It is the beginning of a deeper, more compassionate love than you may have ever known. When the hair turns silver and the body slows down, the world invites you to turn inward, to discover the treasure of loving kindness that has always lived within you. This teaching is not about pretending you are younger than you are. It is not about clinging to what has already passed. Instead, it is about opening your heart to the beauty of impermanence, to the tenderness of self-acceptance, and to the quiet strength of compassion. In this video, we will explore 6 steps rooted in Buddhist wisdom. By the end of this journey, you will know how to embrace aging not as a loss, but as a sacred teacher. You will see how to release self-criticism, honor your resilience, transform loneliness, and awaken to the profound truth that you, in this very moment, are already worthy of love. And if you stay with me until the end, there is also a special bonus reflection, an extra teaching that may help you see your so-called flaws in a completely new and radiant light. 1. Impermanence as a teacher. The Buddha's very first teachings were about impermanence, the truth that all things arise, change, and eventually pass away. This is not a punishment, but the natural rhythm of life. Youth fades, strength wanes, faces wrinkle, but these changes are no different from the setting of the sun or the falling of autumn leaves. When we are young, impermanence feels distant. We imagine that old age belongs to someone else, but as years pass, the body begins to whisper reminders. The knees ache, the memory slows, and we realize impermanence is not just a teaching, it is a companion. Many resist this truth, clinging to what once was. We fight against grey hair with dyes, we cover wrinkles with creams, and we chase the illusion of eternal youth. But no amount of struggle can halt the flow of time. The more we resist, the more we suffer. The Buddha invites us to look at impermanence differently, not as an enemy, but as a teacher of love. Because everything changes, we learn to cherish what is here now. Because the body is fragile, we learn to care for it tenderly. Because life is short, we learn to release grudges and live with compassion. To love yourself in old age is to bow to impermanence with grace. Instead of saying, I am less than I used to be, you can say, I am part of life's great unfolding, and this moment is no less precious than any other. Self-love begins when you let impermanence soften your heart instead of hardening it. 2. Letting go of the mirror self. Most of us, without realizing it, build our sense of worth around the reflection in the mirror. We identify with smooth skin, strong muscles, bright eyes. But as time passes, the mirror changes. Suddenly, the reflection we once admired seems unfamiliar, even unwelcome. This attachment to appearance is one of the greatest sources of suffering in old age. The Buddha taught that the body is not truly self. It is like a borrowed garment, useful, beautiful at times, but never truly ours to keep. When you stop clinging to the mirror self, you begin to see more clearly. Wrinkles are not flaws, they are the calligraphy of a life lived. Each line tells a story of laughter, tears, endurance, and love. The body's changes are not signs of loss, but reminders that you have walked a long and meaningful path. Consider this. If your value were only in your appearance, then every person would lose their worth as they aged. But this is not the truth. What we love most in people, their kindness, their wisdom, their patience, often deepens with age. Why should it be different for you? To love yourself in old age, practice shifting your gaze. When you look in the mirror, instead of asking, "How do I look?" ask, "How deeply have I lived? How much compassion have I shared? How much wisdom have I gained?" In doing so, you step beyond the narrow prison of the mirror self and discover a love rooted in something eternal, the beauty of your being. 3. Compassion for the journey. Pause for a moment and think of all you have endured in this lifetime. The illnesses you recovered from, the heartbreaks that once seemed unbearable but eventually softened into wisdom, the countless nights you stayed awake worrying for loved ones, the disappointments you faced, the mistakes you made, and the courage it took to rise again each time. You are still here. You are breathing. That alone is extraordinary. The Buddha often spoke of compassion, not only toward others, but also toward oneself. Yet many people, as they age, carry the opposite of compassion. They carry judgment. They look back on their lives and think, "I should have done more. I should have been different. I am not enough." But what if you turned toward yourself with the same kindness you would offer to a dear friend? If your friend had walked through the same storms, you would not criticize them. You would take their hand and say, "You have been through so much. I honor your strength." This is the practice of compassion for the journey. It is about acknowledging your scars not as failures, but as evidence of resilience. Every struggle has shaped you into the self in old age, then, is not selfish. It is an act of harmony. When you soften toward yourself, you naturally soften toward others. Compassion radiates outward. By caring for your own heart, you contribute to the healing of the world. You can practice this awareness through loving kindness meditation. Sit quietly and repeat, "May I be peaceful, may I be healthy, may I be at ease." Then extend it outward. May all beings be peaceful, may all beings be healthy, may all beings be at ease. Notice how the boundary between self and others begins to dissolve. In this practice, self-love is no longer about clinging to an individual identity. It is about recognizing that you are part of the great ocean of life. A single wave may rise and fall, but it is never apart from the sea. In the same way, your life flows within the whole. When you embrace this view, aging takes on a new meaning. Your body may weaken, your days may be fewer, but your being is never separate from life itself. You are part of something vast and timeless. To love yourself, then, is to honor the whole universe reflected in you. Kintsugi for the soul. Why your flaws make you beautiful. In Japan, there is an ancient art called kintsugi. When a bowl or cup breaks, it is not thrown away. Instead, it is repaired with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The cracks are not hidden, they are illuminated. The breakage becomes part of the story, and the vessel becomes more beautiful because of its flaws. This is a powerful image for the soul, especially as we grow older. Many people look back at their lives and see only the cracks, mistakes, regrets, failures, disappointments. They think, "I am broken, I am less than I once was." But Buddhism invites us to see differently. Just like kintsugi, Your cracks are not signs of worthlessness. They are where your deepest wisdom and compassion shine through. Think of the moments when life humbled you, the heartbreak that made you softer toward others, the illness that taught you to appreciate simple joys, the loss that showed you the depth of love. These cracks, though painful, are also openings. Through them, light enters. The Buddha himself did not promise a life without suffering. In fact, his very first teaching was that suffering is part of existence. But he also showed that suffering can be transformed. Just as gold fills the cracks of broken pottery, compassion fills the cracks in the human heart. Each time you choose kindness after pain, each time you forgive instead of harden, you are practicing the art of kintsugi for the soul. Loving yourself in old age, then, does not mean pretending you are unbroken. It does not mean denying the scars of your journey. It means seeing your imperfections as part of your sacred design. Without them, you would not be who you are. Without them, your wisdom would not shine so brightly. Consider this reflection. A young tree, smooth and unmarked, may be beautiful, but it is the old tree, with its twisted trunk and weathered bark, that offers the deepest shade. Its knots and scars are not flaws. They are signs of endurance, signs of life. You, too, carry the marks of time. And like the tree, these marks are not blemishes. They are your beauty. Practical steps can help you embody this truth. When a memory of regret arises, instead of pushing it away, whisper gently, "This too is part of my gold." When you notice the marks of aging on your body, instead of mourning them, say, "These are the rivers that carry the story of my life." In doing so, you shift from rejection to reverence. One day, you may even look back and see that the very things you thought made you weak are what made you compassionate. The people who hurt you taught you the importance of kindness. The times you failed taught you humility and patience. The body that slowed down taught you to savor each step. What you once called flaws are actually the golden lines of kintsugi, tracing the story of your soul. So as you walk in the autumn of life, do not hide your cracks. Do not apologize for them. Hold them up to the light, just as the Japanese craftsmen do, and let them shine. Your beauty does not lie in being unbroken. Your beauty lies in the way you have been pieced back together, with love, with resilience, with compassion. Remember, self-love in old age is not about perfection. It is about wholeness. And wholeness comes not from hiding your scars, but from honoring them. Like the golden veins of kintsugi, your flaws are the places where your soul glows brightest. Guided meditation. Close your eyes gently. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Allow your body to settle like a vessel resting on the earth. Now, imagine yourself as a clay bowl. Over the years, this bowl has cracked, chipped, even broken. Each crack carries a story of joy, of sorrow, of love, of loss. Do not hide them, simply notice. Now, see golden light pouring gently into these cracks, warm, luminous, tender. Each flaw is being traced with gold. What was once broken is now shining. What was once painful is now radiant. Breathe in this light and breathe out release. Whisper silently, "My flaws are my beauty. My scars are my strength. I am whole. I am enough." Sit for a few moments with this golden vessel that is you, unique, unrepeatable, beautiful because of the journey it has lived. When you are ready, open your eyes. carrying this light within you. So, how do you learn to love yourself even in old age? You begin by seeing impermanence not as an enemy, but as a teacher. You let go of the mirror self and honor the beauty that lies beyond appearances. You offer compassion for the journey you have walked, replacing judgment with tenderness. You practice gentle speech, watering your heart with words of kindness. You embrace solitude, turning it into friendship with yourself. And finally, you see that you are never separate. You are part of all beings, part of the great ocean of life. Like kintsugi, your life's fractures are filled with golden light, turning what was once broken into something radiant, unique, and whole. The Buddha reminds us that true love is boundless. It is not limited by youth, beauty, or time. In fact, it often ripens in the later years, when we are ready to release illusions and embrace truth. If these words brought you peace, let them ripple outward. Subscribe to walk this path together and share this teaching so others may find comfort too. May your days be gentle and your heart steady in compassion. Speak gently, and your heart will respond with peace. 5. Embracing solitude as a friend. For many, the later years of life bring more solitude. Children grow up and leave, friends move away or pass on. The busy routines of work fade into quieter days. At first, this change can feel like a heavy weight, a reminder of loss. Loneliness creeps in, whispering that you are forgotten, that you are no longer needed. But Buddhism teaches us that solitude and loneliness are not the same. Loneliness is the feeling of being incomplete, as if something is missing. Solitude, on the other hand, is the gentle recognition that in this very moment you are whole. The Buddha himself spent long periods in solitude. He sat beneath trees, walked alone in forests, and meditated in silence. He discovered that in solitude we can hear the deepest truths of our own heart. To love yourself in old age, begin to transform loneliness into companionship with yourself. Instead of filling the silence with distraction, sit quietly with your breath. Feel the air enter and leave your body. Notice how each breath carries you, moment after moment. In this stillness, you meet the companion who has always been with you, your own awareness. Solitude can become a teacher. It shows you that you do not need constant validation from the outside world to feel complete. You begin to see that your worth is not measured by how many people surround you, but by the depth of your presence in this moment. Practical steps can help. Dedicate time each day to be with yourself, not out of obligation, but as an act of love. Light a candle, sit quietly, and simply breathe. Or walk slowly in nature, noticing the trees, the sky, the earth beneath your feet. Instead of thinking, I am alone, think, I am in the company of life itself. When solitude becomes your friend, you no longer fear the empty room. You discover that you are never truly alone, because awareness, breath, and the great unfolding of life are always here with you. This gentle friendship with yourself is one of the deepest forms of self-love. 6. Seeing yourself as part of all beings. There is a profound teaching in Buddhism. No self exists in isolation. We are all part of a vast, interconnected web of life. To see this clearly is to move beyond narrow self-concern into a love that includes all beings. Think about it. Your breath is given by the trees, which transform sunlight into oxygen. Your food is grown by the earth, nurtured by rain and farmers' hands. Every part of your life is woven together with countless others. You are never separate. You are the universe expressing itself as you. When you forget this truth, it is easy to fall into self-criticism. You may think, I am small, I am unimportant, my life does not matter. But when you remember interconnection, you see that your very existence is a gift to the whole. Your smile may lift the heart of a stranger. Your patience may soothe a child. Your quiet wisdom may guide someone younger. Loving your being you are now. Every fall has taught you humility. Every loss has carved space in your heart for deeper love. The Buddhist path does not ask us to be perfect. It asks us to be awake, to see clearly the whole of our journey, both the shadows and the light. When you look back with compassion instead of regret, self-love begins to bloom naturally. So tonight, when you are alone, place your hand gently on your heart. Whisper to yourself, I have lived, I have learned, I have endured, I am worthy of love. This simple act plants a seed of compassion that can blossom at any age. 4. The practice of gentle speech. Words are powerful. They can heal or they can wound. They can soothe or they can harden. The Buddha taught that right speech is one of the steps on the noble path, not only in how we speak to others, but also in how we speak to ourselves. Notice the words you use in your inner dialogue. Many older people, without realizing it, repeat harsh phrases. I am too old. I am useless. My best days are behind me. These words sink deep into the heart, shaping how you see yourself. Over time, they create a prison of negativity. But what if you replaced these phrases with gentle speech? What if, instead of saying, I am too old, you said, I am seasoned with wisdom? Instead of, my body is weak, you said, my body has carried me through so much, and I honor it. Instead of, my best days are over, you said, this moment is a gift, and I choose to cherish it. Gentle speech is not about denying reality. It is not about pretending you are young again. It is about choosing words that nurture love instead of despair. Just as a plant grows stronger when watered with care, your heart grows lighter when nourished with kind words. You can practice this daily. Each morning before you rise, speak one gentle sentence to yourself. May I be at ease, may I be kind to myself today. Each evening before you sleep, remind yourself, I am enough, just as I am. Over time, these words become natural. They dissolve old habits of self-criticism and replace them with self-love. Remember, the way you speak to yourself is the way you shape your inner world.